afternoon. You are live at Barrow Ladies.
Speeches and presentations after the game.
Who they will take on York Valkyrie in a couple of minutes. I'll just run through the team with you, but I bet you're all dying to know who my guest summariser is today. I'll give a little bit of some hints on Facebook and Twitter, and I don't know if anyone managed to guess it, but I have got the legend of Barrow Raiders ladies and Barrow Raiders women, our Island ladies, stood right next to me. Jodie Liverland joins me today on the radio. Thank you very much for joining me, Jodie.
Thanks very much. I think that might be the kindest thing you've ever said to me, Becca, but I'll take it.
I've grown up now. So I'll quickly run you through the teams for today. For the Barrow Raiders ladies, we have at fullback Sam Norman. On the wings today, Chloe Capstick and Blossom Howell. Centres, Emily Sturzaker and Emma Hutchinson. Standoff, Beth Lindsay. Beth Patterson at scrum half. Leah Clough and Jodie Morley at the props. Leah Cottier is hooker today, and second rowers Lucy Dickinson and Vanessa Temple, with Nicole Stewart at loose forward. And on the substitutes today, Mia Dobson, Jodie Crawford, Darcy Southwood, and returning to the pitch after a short spell off, Kelly Friend. So great to see Kelly back, and we'll have a quick word with Jodie about that in a minute. Just quickly run you through the York team. At fullback, Olivia Turner. Wings today, Emma Kershaw and Ebony Partington. Centres, Emily Lenham and Petra Woods. Standoff today is Tamsin Renouf, and scrum half is Ellie Williamson. Props, Isabel Brennan and Megan Pakulis, and Isabel Bibby at hooker. Second rower, Adahoe Akwiri and Olivia Wood, and loose forward is Jasmine Bell. Substitutions, Kate Howard, Agnes Wood, Tara Moxon and Brooke Henson. There's only one 18th woman today, and it is Kendall Dutton-Rosconi for Barrow Raiders, so York opting to not name an 18th woman. But Jodie, Kelly Friend, you know, you've played with her for years. Tell us what sort of player she is.
I just think she's a great player, and when she doesn't overthink the situation and just gets on and plays rugby, I think she's a fantastic addition to the team. So I hope she's back today, and this is the start of a bit of a resurgence for her, and she's in, week out from now, going especially into the second half of the season.
Yeah, so as Jodie mentioned, it is the last game of the season today, in inverted commas, for the women. What happens is they split the season in half after today's game, so the top four will play the bottom four. Some interesting knowledge for today, if anyone's interested in the next few games. It's York today didn't need to win this game against Barrow if Huddersfield got beat by Leeds, and Huddersfield are currently being beat by Leeds, but it is only half time there. So York wanting to win just to cement that place in the top four, but Huddersfield, they've really caught up this season and doing really well. They weren't as impressive though against the Raiders last time out. Jodie, you were at the game. What did you think of that game?
Yeah, I thought Barrow was so unlucky there to not get the win, and definitely came away disappointed as a fan and spectator. Sat there on the sidelines with my three dogs that Barrow didn't come away with 2 points last week, so I'm sure the girls feel exactly the same. And Huddersfield, I did think was going to be a bigger test than that for Barrow, but there were a few players missing, weren't they? And probably not to get too carried away with what they didn't have on the day, but I think that Huddersfield have probably been the only team this year that looked like testing any of the top four. It hasn't happened again, so top four as everyone expected, bottom four as everyone expected. So Barrow just need to get through this today, and then I guess all attention then turns to the business end of the season.
And Wigan obviously dominating that top half of the table again this season. They've got 14 points, they've played 7 games, they've won 7 games. Then you've got Leeds, they've played 6, won 5. St Helens joined them, but they've played 7. Leeds obviously playing that game against York currently, expecting to win that, so they'll secure that second place. But we're about to go underway here at Craven Park. It is Barrow versus York in the last game this half of the season for the Women's Super League. York are in their usual yellow and black, Barrow in their blue and white, and Barrow will be receiving the ball for the first half for this first kick-off, and they're facing towards the Hollywood Park end. If you know Barrow's ground, kick-off there, the ball goes straight through the legs of Lucy Dickinson, but picked up well in the end by Emma Hutchinson. She bobbles it a little bit backwards, but gets some safe hands on that, and now Cottier gets the ball to Dickinson, but she's stopped in her tracks straight away there by this York side. Barrow set up on both sides. It's going to come out left to Leah Clough. Leah playing today. Her sister Zara has been featured in the team in the last few weeks, but she's the only Clough on the pitch today, and now Lindsay gets this ball to the right hand side to Dickinson. Dixon again taking another one in for the Raiders, but put down quickly there by York's quick defence. Clough now dummies a little bit there, passes it on to Morley, clashes heads with Jasmine Bell for York, but both players just put the hands up there. Now Barrow on the 5th. They've just got to the 50-metre mark, and Stewart will get that kick downfield. Goes straight into the hands of Ebony Partington for York there. So Barrow now just getting up some quick defence, but it's a mistake there from York. They drop the ball, but it does go backwards, so the referee says play on. Barrow just getting in the faces of York at the moment. Slow defence there though, pushing up to York, just letting them run to them at the moment. We've seen this the last few weeks with Raiders. They just need to get in the faces and cause the errors like they did at Huddersfield. It was a great game for this Raiders side. But York now are 45 metres out from the line. They throw 2 dummies there, get across to this left-hand side, and they're still going there. Offload in the middle of the tackle, but it is covered well by Dickinson and Cottier there. Hutchinson joining in, and now York on the 5th, 30 metres out. Kick bobbles a bit, but Howell just takes that one in the end. It bobbles around in her hands, but she does well to keep that one. Not some bad opening sets there, Jodie.
No, 2 pretty safe sets from both teams.
So Hutchinson now just trying to run this one in. They're trying to take a kit off her, it looks, just ripping that off her, but now Raiders hit the short side to Norman. Norman comes in to take this one. Again, just taken out there. It was Petra Woods who came in to make that tackle, and Dickinson tries to run this ball forward. She's trying to get forward today, but just being put down every time that she takes that run. And Morley now just stretches out for the ball there, but it's going to be a pass too far forward for her, and it comes off the fingertips, so it's going to be a knock-on against Jodie Morley there for the Raiders, and now they'll have to defend a scrum 25 metres out from the line.
Yeah, terrible pass there from 9. Not sure who it was, I think Cox maybe.
Yeah, looked like Leah Cottier there, just put it a bit too far forward in front of Jodie Morley, tried to stretch her fingertips, but unfortunately Jodie just couldn't quite get there. Now Barrow, big ass to defend here against these York team, a big tough team, one of them top 4 teams that we talk about quite consistently. They're going to hit the short side here to the right, running back in towards the Raiders defence there though. Cottier does well with Sturzaker, and now York aiming to go back through this middle. There's a big gap there though in the middle. Great defence so there in the end from Emma Hutchinson, just stopping York from going through there. They were basically through for a try in the middle, and she come in and made that defence, but is it going to be a little too late for the Raiders? They've got to stretch out on the left, York, and it's going to be a try there for Petra Woods. She goes over on the left hand side for York. A great try saving tackle from Emma Hutchinson in the middle, but unfortunately she was pulled in there, and Barrow just didn't have the defence on their right hand side, so it's going to be a try there for York 3 minutes into this game.
York try scorers number 21, Petra Woods.
So Petra Woods there for York going over. Barrow just managing to keep York out for them first 4 minutes of the game. But as we say, York, quite a big team. Jodie, you've played against York, and in the times you've played there, what you've seen some star players over the years?
Yeah, and I think we've always had a really good go at them here at home. They don't seem to have travelled to Barrow too well over the years, and they'll probably be disappointed with that and maybe come here today with a bit of a point to prove. But also I think they're in a little bit of a transition as well, so new head coach coming in this year. I don't think they've been consistently naming a 17 week on week. But yeah, like obviously we've seen already that their number 7 from over in Australia looks like she's going to run the show this afternoon if we don't get to grips with that. And spotted a bit of a left edge, and I keep thinking that Emma's last man on the wing, but she's moved into the centre with number 5 on the back, so there probably should have been a number out there that we couldn't see over on the edge, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on how that one goes for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think Blossom Howell there, she was kind of caught on a 3-on-1 situation herself. Emma had pushed in to make that tackle, but that tackle was just right at the 6, so she's had to have a massive push to get there. But yeah, like you say, Ellie Williamson, the Aussie that's come over, just takes a kick there. Nearly gets that one as well, right from the sidelines, but just a little bit short there. So it will remain 4-0 to the Valkyrie here after 4 minutes. Here, good effort there though.
Yeah, and another thing that might go in Barrow's favour today, it looks absolutely glorious down there, 20, maybe 6 degrees, but there is quite a bit of wind actually, so maybe we're a bit harsh on Cottie's pass before. If the wind just caught it, and it's going to be quite a tough day for the kickers, I think, even though it looks glorious sunshine.
Yeah, that kick probably was going in actually if that wind hadn't pushed it back. Or it's going towards the other way, so yeah, a bit of a tough ass there. We'll see what Nicole Stewart does here. Hopefully doesn't put too much of a boot on it with that now. But if you are watching a stream of this game, you'll see Ellie Williamson. She is in the white school cap for York, so you can keep an eye on her. We'll be telling you all about her live on the radio, though today it's a good first tackle there from Cotty and Molly. The ball just kicked up into the air, taken eventually by the Valkyrie, but great tackle there from Jodie Morley. But it's a quick play, the ball out the ruck there. York just getting a little bit of a spin away there. It was Isabel Bibby just running down the field, and York now already just nearly at that 50-metre mark after that quick play the ball. And now there's a gap there in the middle for York. Sam Norman's chasing though. She's going to make that tackle. Great last line of defence from her there, just to stop York from going under. They're going to go this left-hand side, but the pass is too high, and York knock on 30 metres from the line. So Raiders now will get this scrum back, but good effort there from Sam Norman. Great last-minute defence just to keep York from going under the sticks.
Yeah, I think that's a young prop there breaking the line, and then she didn't just quite have the legs to accelerate and go, did she? So, but I guess the problems come from missed tackle in the middle. And you asked about York Stars before. I think she's one of their young ones who's breaking into England international scene. And then the lass who caught it on this edge, number 2, Ebony Partington, she's been in England international for a long time, so her pace is going to be something they're going to have to watch as well.
Yeah, we've got players though missing from this team, like you say. They've not named that same sort of team this season. You've got players like Sinead Peach, obviously, who was out last year. She was having a baby, and then you've got players like Tara Jane Stanley. You know, she's a massive player for this York side and isn't in again today against the Raiders. So them sort of stars are full of them, and they've still got some in today. But yeah, just missing a couple as well off that. But good news there for the Raiders. There's a penalty early on in that set now, kicked out by Lindsay. And Raiders now will get the ball 40 metres away from their own line. Still, they're going to have to try to get out of this half. Nessa Temple there just trying to push forward. York all over her at the moment, tries to get that quick play the ball away, but as she puts the ball down, she's bobbled it with her foot, and it's going to be a knock on there against the Raiders. So first tackle there, and Raiders have lost the ball. Disappointing with that set.
Yeah, Ness will be really disappointed with that.
So York now will get the ball here. The referees just called it as an incorrect play the ball in the end, so it will just be a play the ball there to York. He'll get the ball back again 40 metres away from the line now with that turnover from the Raiders. Mistake. York just trying to find a way through. They've hit through the middle well, but Sam Norman's been there in defence at the moment. Barrow defenders in the middle just working together though to make that tackle. Stewart's there with Lindsay. There's a big gap on that right hand side though, but York's still going on this left hand side, and Howell's got a 2-on-1 now, but Hutchinson comes in well and covers that to make the 1-on-1 tackle, and York now 10 metres away from the line. Big miss there from Dickinson, but it is covered well by Clough, Norman and Hutchinson, who've come in to make that tackle. Hutchinson involved a lot with these tackles at the moment, and now they're going to try and cut back through the middle here. Cotty is there with Morley, and Dickinson comes in to finish that one off. York now on the 5th, metres away from that line. It's going to be taken by Jazz Bell. She thinks she can get through the middle, but she's just held up there. The referee says held. She manages to get a quick little pass away, but he'd already called held there, so Barrow will get the turnover here, but 5 metres away from line. It's a big ask, Jodie, especially in this weather.
To come 90 metres, yeah. I think York will be really disappointed with that attacking set because they didn't really offer much in that, but Barrow will be really happy defensively, and I think the best opportunity in that set for York was the centre should have passed it to the winger, and she was clean in. I'm not sure why she didn't pass it.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of that white line glory. She already got one try today, maybe wanting to get another one over the board, but yeah, York disappointed with that attack there. Just didn't really offer much across the pitch and kept aiming for that left hand side. Hutchinson though with the ball in hand now, not happy with the tackle there from York, but the referee says play on, and now the ball's out to Temple. Temple is going. It was a good pass from Morley there after drawing in the York defenders to get it away to Vanessa Temple. She plays the ball now, and Cotty is going to get it to Pattinson. She gets the ball to Sturzaker, that left-hand side. We've not seen a lot of them involved in the game today for the Raiders, but it is the 5th now at the 50-metre mark. Stewart's going to get the ball up. It's a nice kick there, bobbles around a little bit and he just can't
come on.
take it. Jody doesn't agree with that. Referee says it's gone backwards. It was bobbling around a little bit. You would think that it would maybe be a knock-on from there. The referee now is going to give a penalty here though against the Raiders. Capstick and Clough just involved in that one. Just waiting to see what he's actually given the penalty for though.
Legs above the horizontal from the look up here, but I feel like the referee's caused that himself. If he'd have gave the knock on in the first place, we wouldn't have had a penalty for a tackle afterwards.
Yeah, Barrow just going in there with a bit of passion after thinking they've been wrongly done against with that knock-on call there. It was a good kick from Nicole Stewart though. Jodie, obviously you used to be a kicker when you played for the Raiders. What sort of kicks would you be playing in these sort of conditions today?
Yeah, exactly that, and I think that you just keep peppering, and now she's put that one down, you kick again, and you kick again, and you kick again.
Obviously at Huddersfield we saw Zara Clough. It was only her second game for the Raiders and she experienced that firsthand. She made that knock on in the first half and every ball they just kicked high balls to her every single time, and it paid off for Huddersfield because I think they got about 3 of their tries from it in the end.
Yeah, and it's not like a nice thing to experience for a young player, but that's just smart from Huddersfield, because if something's working for you and you've gone and you've got success, you just keep doing it and you keep doing it, and if it kind of is detriment to the other player, then unfortunately that's sport, isn't it, at this level. But yeah, I think that Zara's just got to keep her head up after that game, and she's young, she'll learn, she's had the experience to play, and I just think that also the players around her have got to be better and look after her a little bit more than they did last week.
So the referee there just indicating the penalty as it's kicked there, it was for that tipping over the 90 degrees there, so York will get the ball back. Not the furthest of kicks so from the Valkyrie, so they are only 30 metres away from the run line here, but big run there from them, gets them 10 metres further down that pitch there. It was a brilliant run from Tamsin Renouf, and now Jazz Bell is going to go down into the middle of the pitch, 50 metres away now. York, Barrow slowly getting up to that York line, just letting them have a little bit of time to run with that, and Vanessa Temple there attempts to make that tackle. It's covered well by Morley and Sturzaker. Williamson now plays it to that right hand side, another gap there though for York, and it's going to be another try there. It's Amelie Lenham who goes over for the Valkyrie and manages to run a little bit closer to the sticks in doing so as well. Barrow just caught out on that right hand side there, and she just managed to shrug her shoulder around and find a little bit of a gap. Disappointing from the Raiders, are just not getting up in the faces of this York team and just letting them play and run the ball a bit. So York now, a bit of an easier kick this time for Williamson. She is just looking just right of the sticks here. After Lennon went over and scored and managed to get that little bit of a run there, but yeah, disappointing from the Raiders there. York have got all the way from that 30 metre mark in front of their own sticks all the way down the pitch in 3 tackles there, so definitely some big runs from the props. Raiders just need to get in the faces.
Yeah, but it should have been a knock on. But I know I can't complain about referees' decisions and all of that.
Jodie still not happy with that knock on here. Yeah, it was one of those questionable ones. The ball was bobbling in the air, so it's one of those where you're not really too sure how it's not been given when it's kind of bobbling around anyways. But yeah, the referee says it went straight backwards, and Barrow have to work with that. The problem is though, Jodie, I think I've watched these games over and over, and I do think sometimes when things go against this Barrow team, they do kind of put their heads down a little bit with the referees' decisions. But as you know, as a player, you've just got to keep going and you've got to keep playing, and you can't look at it. You now can look at it up here and go, that should have been a knock on, but on the pitch they can't look at that and think, well, they only scored because they got a knock on that was a knock on.
Yeah, and you've just got to defend what's in front of you, and I think that Barrow haven't been able to do that there. But I've never seen this young lass play before, and obviously some really nice late footwork at the line and just caught Barrow defence out, so a bit of credit's got to go to the attacker in that situation as well.
Yeah, Amelie Lennon there it was. She just kind of shrugged her shoulder down, put it down towards the left, and managed to kind of scoot around that left-hand edge for the Raiders, and then, like you say, just footwork around Sam Norman and make it a bit closer. And looks like the kick's been missed there. Thought it had gone through, but yeah, it's been been missed. It was quite close actually, and she did well from the sideline, so I thought that it would have gone through, but yeah, missed kick there, so it will remain 8-0 to York.
And I think that's one thing I've noticed with York. For the last couple of years, they've never really had a consistent kicker. Since Tara's been out, she would usually be their first choice kicker, and I imagine she will be when she comes back, but they don't seem to have had that one consistent kicker over the last couple of seasons.
Good leg grab there from Leah Clough. It was a good kick off there after the try. Capstick just tried to chase that one. Another big shot there by Nicole Stewart.
Great shot.
She's doing well this season as well with the defence, and Clough now comes in. Cottier. Clough does well to cover that offload opportunity. Cottier does well with that one-on-one tackle here. York just struggling with what to do. Now they look a bit lost in the middle of the pitch, and Barrow have picked up the ball, but it may be a Barrow knock on here. We'll see what the referee gives. It looked like York were just kind of bobbling with the ball. And
well, again, I'm not refereeing the game, but from up here it looked like that Beth Pat took possession of the ball. York have gone for a one-on-one steal and stole it back off Beth Pat, so it should be a knock on York. Barrow head and feet.
That's what he's going to give, so Jodie knows what he must be listening to, you know.
Maybe I've got a bit of a call in from, instead of being a commentator, I could go and be a referee.
So Raiders now will restart at the 50-metre mark here with the ball after that mistake from York. Wasn't too sure which way that would go. It's a bit of a messy one from York, but Raiders now will get the ball. So Pattinson plays it straight out to Sturzaker. She sees a little bit of a gap there. She's still going, Emily Sturzaker, but eventually taken down there 45 metres away from the line. Barrow going to hit that short side on the left. Patterson passes it back inside to Sam Norman, but she's covered well there by the Valkyrie, and now Morley running forward with this one, a big carrier, but she loses
offside.
the ball, and very luckily the referee blows for an offside, so would have been a knock on there against the Raiders if he hadn't just blown for that. So Raiders now will get the ball back.
And that's a great set there, and I think Sam's just been hit hard by Liv Wood. I think there's a bit of history of that situation. Put Sam over in the corner a few years ago, and just all she had to do is put the ball down, and next thing Liv Wood comes flying out of nowhere, prop getting into the corner, and I think Sam to this day still doesn't know how she managed to hold her up, spin her over and flip her out, and she didn't get the ball down, so a bit of history with that one.
So Williamson now, we were just talking about her before, a strong player for this York team, just currently receiving some medical treatment on the field, so a little bit of a break here now. But Raiders, when they do start, they'll be starting with a full set 35 metres away from the line, so the best attacking set they'll have had in this whole game, and we've seen some good attacking sets from them in the last few weeks. They seem a lot more organised in how they move forward, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle this one with York. Players just receiving some water. It's very hot out there today. I think it's about 26 degrees, so
yeah, but like I said, there is a heck of a wind. Even that pass then, just straight from Cox to Clough, you could see it just wobble in the air. There is quite a heavy wind.
So Raiders now 15 metres away from the line. Morley gets a quick pass there to Temple. Temple still running forward. She's put down eventually. A bit of a flop there from Jasmine Bell from York, but Temple gets up, plays the ball there to Morley. Morley tries to crash over under the sticks, but again is pushed back by this York defence.
Nicole's turn, get over.
Nicole now gets the ball in hand. She's going to try and crash over as well. She had a little bit of a gap there on the right, but just couldn't find a way through. She gets the offload away though, but the referee has shouted held, so it will be a play of the ball there. And now Cotty's going to hit this short side on the right to Lindsay. Lindsay's going to get the pass away to Clough. Clough there just tries to crash over, and Raiders now already on the 5th, metres away from this line. They've got options both sides, but again, they're going to hit this short side. Probably not the best option available. York were covering that pretty well, and Raiders had a small bit of overlap on that left-hand side, but now it's going to be a turnover there, and York will get the ball. But Raiders finishing the set there. It's not the worst place to finish a set, Jodie.
No, I think it's a nice place to turn it over. Sometimes it's more effective than a kick, going dead and then getting a 20-metre restart. So yeah, they can't be too disappointed with that. Their first full set really in good ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those in rugby, you can't ask for a try from every set, can you? So if at least you're going to finish it down there without the try, at least get that good finish. So York now, big ask to get down the field from them. They've already got 25 metres out, but again, they're going to try and hit that right-hand side. Morley goes to make a tackle there, but she has just hit a high. As she's done so, it's going to be a high tackle there against her. So York, another penalty. Discipline letting the Raiders down here as well at the moment. That's a couple of penalties given away now for high tackle, tipping in a tackle. They definitely need to get that under control, especially against a team like York.
Yeah, and it's probably coming from fatigue, isn't it? Like we've said, it's hot.
You know a lot about that, Jodie. I remember when we used to play, you used to give a lot of penalties away.
No comment.
Was it due to fatigue?
Probably.
So York now will restart 45 metres away from the own line, just towards the right-hand side of the field. Williamson passes the ball into the middle there. Goes straight into the hands of Isabel Brennan. And now York going to pull to this left-hand side. Raiders' defence is up there though, but Dickinson misses the first tackle. Stewart does well to finish that one off. And now they're going to try and find a gap in this middle. There's a bit of a gap there and a bit of an overlap, and Williamson throws the dummy past Vanessa Temple. It's collected well there. Are they going to get over the line? There's Raiders' last-minute ditch defence. Sam Norman does really well there. And now York are metres away from the line. They're going to try and crash over from dummy half, and she has got over there, so it's going to be a try for the Valkyrie. Disappointing there for the Raiders. They just let that little run through gap in the middle, and unfortunately they just couldn't quite stop her from diving over. It was Isabel Bibby there who managed to get over for the Valkyrie. Just did that little bit of a dive towards the line, and Raiders were defending that. And Jodie, obviously, you know, with the Super League, they kind of watch each other's games now on this live game system, so they can watch the games after they've been playing. Obviously, with Men's Super League, you can just go re-watch any game you want, but they never used to have that sort of thing in Women's Super League. Now they've got this system where they can go re-watch the games that they've played, and Barrow were really caught out by that quite a lot when they played Huddersfield last week. So for you, did you guys kind of study games a lot? Because that seems to be what York are doing today.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got, the lasses have got a lad called Cal who works in the background with Amanda. He does game analysis on, it was Huddle, I'm not sure if it's the same platform or it's a new one now, but he would put clips in of like our good play, bad play, the other teams, things to watch out for, and kind of like their set plays and things, and then you'd have to watch it before you came into training, and at training then you'd go through stuff to like either mitigate what you talked about or what you were likely to expect to happen. But I think especially like with us, with Barrow as a club, it was mostly about ourselves. We're building, we're just kind of settling our way into playing at this level consistently, and you've just got to be mostly about yourself. So it's about what they do right, what they do well. And I think one of the things that, like already, if he was thinking about this game, it's 2 penalties, 2 tries, and just like you said, got to knock out those things that it's an error really giving away a penalty when you've got down to that end of the pitch and then come up to the other end. So if they can stamp that out and defend a set, easier said than done, I know. But yeah, that'll be probably the first thing that they'll be looking at already. But
that's like you say, when they ended that set down the end of the field, it was, oh brilliant, you've not give that seven tackles away from the goal line dropout. But really what Raiders are doing is they're ending it down there, and then they're just giving away a whole new set, 3 tackles in already. So yeah, disappointed definitely to cut them errors out. But yeah, like I say, we're just having a hydration break at the moment. I know you're a football fan, Jodie, so you'll know about these hydration breaks. I've threatened in the last few weeks to sing on the radio, because normally they have music playing, don't they, at the World Cup, but yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah, they nicked it from football. They're having a 3-minute official break on like 22 minutes. It's one of those things, isn't it? When you're watching it, it's horrible. I don't want to see this when I'm being a spectator and a fan, especially watching the football. But as a player, you're not going to turn them down, are you?
No. So now you're just waiting for the Raiders to restart. But it was a missed kick there by the Valkyrie again, so it's only 12-0 to them. So Raiders still completely in this game. 21 minutes gone here, so 19 minutes gone here, sorry. So 21 minutes to go. Raiders slowly making the way back to the pitch here.
Yeah, and I feel for both teams being here today on a Sunday afternoon in Barrow with what's gone on yesterday, and I think both teams would have probably loved to have got this game done and dusted by Saturday afternoon and then gone and enjoyed what's happened last night, but unfortunately not. They've all had to stay in, not have a drink watching the footy, and be here now playing rugby.
So Jodie Crawford comes onto the pitch then for Lucy Dickinson. First interchange for this Raiders side in the game today. She's straight involved there in a tackle on York, but York have already made ground from that kick. Again, another missed tackle, but Crawford does well to cover that one, and Raiders struggling with the tackling at the moment, just missing the first ones and then finally getting in on that second one. Again, another missed tackle there, but Raiders are finishing it at the moment. It's just York. It seems to be very slippery today, just getting through the hands of this Raiders side. They've now hit that right hand side again. It's going to go into the hands of Olivia Wood, on that right hand side, and again just spun around Vanessa Temple there, but Sturzaker does well to come in and cover that one. They've dropped the ball. It looked like it had gone forward, but the referee says play on. Again, it is hard to see from all the way over there, but just goes backwards into the hands of York. Then Ellie Williamson there gets a kick over, but Blossom Howell just quite can't take that one. It's going to bobble backwards past the goal line, so it will be a goal line dropout here for York against the Raiders. Just disappointing there, but it was a tough kick that, it was right into this left hand corner. I actually thought it was just going to go miles out, but it just spun right into the hands of Howell, and she just couldn't quite take that one. But as I say, a very tough kick to take.
It looked like for me she definitely put too much juice on it, but probably would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Blossom would have missed it.
Oh, Raiders there go for a short kick, and that's a disappointing one there. They go for that short kick, just goes 10 metres, and Isabel Bibby grabs it, runs past the first three defenders of the Raiders and goes over just left of sticks. That's really disappointing, that, for the Raiders. The thing is, if you're going to do a kick like that, you've got to cover it and back it up, and they didn't do that. They had one person out chasing it, and they just let York go in there. So yeah, really disappointing that to see from the Raiders.
Number 14 and the second, Isabel Bibby.
So her second of the game for Isabel Bibby. Just looking at York trying to kick now. It's Isabel Brennan who's taking the kicks now. Maybe a bit of an easier one as well, just left of the sticks here.
Yeah, I'd be fuming now if I was number 7 from York and they took a kick off you right under the sticks and you missed the first 3.
I think she took the last one, to be fair. I think right. Isabel Brennan took the last one that was missed, but yeah, Williamson, she did a really good effort with that first one right on the sidelines and nearly went in, like you said. Wind maybe just caught it and pushed it back, but yeah, just.
And I think we mentioned that before, didn't we? That they just don't seem to have a consistent kicker. So
yeah, it seems to be really weird what's going on at York. Like we say, they've been champions. They've played at the top level. I mean, I know when you guys won the championship to get into Super League, it was the same day York played in the grand final at York, and it was a massive day, and it was really good at York. And I remember Jasmine Bell probably did one of the biggest tackles I've ever seen in my life. I think she nearly killed someone that day, but they used to be up there, and this year they seem to be really struggling competing in that top 4. And as I say, Huddersfield nearly overtaken them in that table. They are really looking to be in that top 4, but they've had some close games, they've had some way it's been a bit, you don't know what's going on, but as you say, just don't find any consistency in the teams that's naming this season.
And maybe he's just getting to know his team, and I mean, come on, he's a legend in the game, isn't he? So he's got to be doing some good stuff there with them, and he was a good rugby player, so if he can't coach these to play well, then I don't know what. Yeah,
you won't find any Leon Price slander from me. I'll keep my mouth shut about him. Brilliant player, as you say, and now head coach of York. But it was a kick off there from the Raiders, and good effort again, just getting it down the pitch. But the chase from the Raiders seems to be a bit slow. As we say, it is very hot weather out there though today, so maybe just trying to conserve a bit more energy. But they do need to get in the faces of this Valkyrie team with cutting out those little errors and penalties have been given away. And now on the right hand side it goes into the hands of Liv Wood.
Substitution going off.
Williamson now just dummies them first 2 passes, gets it out in the end, and now's an offload away there. It comes off the hands of a Raiders player. It's going to go back to 6, but York is still on the run anyways on that left hand side. The tackle's missed, but Cotty's going to push her out, and it's great defence there from the Raiders. Really good, considering York had won that 6 again after the ball just plopped from Blossom Howell's hand. But Raiders, really good defence there. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, that's brilliant, that from Cloughie.
Yeah, very impressive. As I just said as well, it was that 6 again call from the referee. I can't believe he saw that. It was right in front of us, and it was such a small touch from Howell's hand, but Referee saw straight on it and give that 6 again. So York, they were only 10 metres away from Raiders line and getting her into touch there. Massive effort from the team. So
I think the 6 again almost confused York. She didn't seem to know what she wanted to do with the ball when he shouted 6 again, and then she just kind of played into Cloughie's hands there. So good for us.
So now Raiders trying to fight their way out of their own half here. Jodie Morley with the ball in hand now. Plays it to Cottier. She gets the ball to Temple. Temple just being spun around today by these York defenders. Cottier's got options both sides. She's going to hit the short side though to Sturzaker. Sturzaker not having much of this ball today, just wanting to get involved with the players at the moment. And now Pattinson dummies that one for a kick but gets it away to Morley. Morley gets Raiders to the middle of the pitch, but it is the 5th. And they're going to kick this from their own half still. Stewart pushing really deep back, but Patterson's going to take this one. Stewart not happy with that decision on the field. Tries to get it over the top there. Patterson's just bobbled the ball there, York, and Clough does really well there to make the tackle. She was just chasing that loose ball, but it was picked up eventually by York, and Clough just managing to make that tackle. I didn't realise she was still on the field because she just took a school cap off Leah Clough, so I was a bit confused she was even there. But
oh yeah, she has.
So Raiders now, some big defence in them first 3 tackles there. Let's see what they can do here with this set. York at the 50-metre mark. Some Raiders players out there looking a little bit tired at the moment. It's a great pass there from Williamson though, out to York, and Sam Norman's there. She's the last woman on the ball, but the ball's going to get passed from Peculis to Agnes Wood, who's come on for the Valkyrie after that last try, and she's going to go right under the sticks there. So disappointing that for the Raiders. Again, they're just finding these little gaps and these little overlaps and pushing through this Raiders side. They must have probably some of the most perfect time pass we've seen all season, and they're just managing to just pass it as the Raiders players pushing through the line, and they're managing to get around that. But Agnes Wood, she's only just come on. She came on from that last try for York, so came on and made an impact straight away.
Yeah, and I think the first phase of that is Megan Peculis who made the break. So going from playing NRLW to playing at Craven Park, that's probably a bit of a different situation for her. But you could just see great hold of the ball and a great line to get her through. But I think the big difference between not just the 2 teams today, but the top 4 and the bottom 4 is every time a ball handler's running the ball with one of the top teams, there's 2, 3, 4 options all of the time. And then any time anybody gets the nose through the line, there's always inside outside options, supporting play, and I think maybe like Barrow at Huddersfield last week, because they don't regularly do that and they don't regularly make breaks and they don't regularly have all that effort in attack, it just looks rusty when they get the opportunity. But they've just got to keep working at it, because in the second half of the season, like those little things, having somebody on your inside shoulder or your outside shoulder if someone gets their head through the line, that's match winning moments for Barrow when it comes to the tight game. So they've just got to keep going and keep working at it.
Yeah, definitely, especially when, like you say, the second half of the season is going to be against teams that are in that lower league of the table. So really all of the games that they're playing, they are winnable games for Raiders. That's how they'll look at it. Whereas when you do play these top 4, is it a winnable game, or is it let's get something out of this game rather than let's go and win this game? You know, it is very tough and the differences are there. But yeah, we'll see what the Raiders can do in that second half of the season. But the conversion was successful there by Isabel Brennan, so it is York 24, Barrow 0 here. 12 minutes to go, Craven Park, and again Liv Wood now just ducks through the defence of the Raiders. They're at the 50-metre mark here already from that kick-off, just ducking and diving through there. Williamson gets the ball to Liv Wood. She's trying to find her way through this Barrow defence, as Jodie says. Just a lot of follow-up from this team and always options, and there they just try to do one of them passes away. Beth Lindsay though gets a ball, hand to the ball, so it's going to be back to a fresh set for York. 35 metres out now, the line set for this Valkyrie. They've got good options both sides. Going to try and run through that right hand side there, but it is covered well there by Patterson. Quick play the ball though. I think they see a little gap, but Clough's there to cover that well. Great tackle from her. And now York are going to go right here. Williamson, quick dummy from Ruck, and now Wood hits that right hand side. The winger there just free for York, but she comes back into danger, and Sturzaker's there to make that tackle. York just trying to get free to play that ball quickly there, but Wood now aiming for that line. York metres away from scoring, still got tackles in hand as the Raiders player down as well on the floor, injured, and now York could spread this ball straight to the left hand side. Looks like they've got a great defence from the Raiders, but they've just managed to tip over and score that one. It was a bit of a messy one. It was Akwuwu who just managed to go over for York. They had loads of options on that left hand side, and really it just looked like she needed to just tip it on one more and they were straight over, but she made a bit of a meal out of that one, and she's managed to go over in the end, but I think she made it a lot harder than she needed to.
Yeah, and I think the lack of York attack there, it just looked like it wasn't what they were supposed to do, but then they've ended up scoring off the back of it. I think Barrow will be really, really disappointed with that defence, because they had one player who had the ball in her hand for an eternity and all they had to do was someone hit her.
Yeah, she just didn't know what to do with that one. She looked like she was going to just keep trying to go, but she had so many options on the left to just ping it out to, but didn't take it, and then eventually managed to get over and roll over herself. But yeah, Barrow was disappointed with that one, just letting York roll over and score.
Yeah, and I think you've seen on this edge already, they've identified a few numbers, haven't they? So a couple of times, like Beth and Blossom have gone for an intercept when it's really not on, and they're giving them another set again. And I think you just need to keep connected to Emma, because she's the one who's making the tackles on this edge, and all three of them just get a little bit more connected and just make the tackle.
Yeah, because what York are doing is when they're running in the line, they're waiting for Raiders to overrun the defence line, and as they overrun, they're passing the ball and managing to get in front of the Raiders player who's in front of the ball players. So they're doing really well to overrun them and then get in, but obviously what that's creating is, like you say, we've had Blossom, we've had Beth just trying to grab that ball as that's happening, but now they've made two mistakes by doing that and giving away another sets of 6, which this one has ultimately led to a try. So, as I say, discipline for the Raiders, letting them down, and now them trying to do this. It's just these little mistakes that are causing them. But another missed kick there for the Valkyrie, so it is York 28, Barrow 0 here.
And an intercept's one of those things, it looks fantastic when it pays off, doesn't it? But I think none of them have been on, have they? It's just been a bit of a, I'll stick a lazy hand out and almost take an extra set of tackles, but then they're scoring off the back of him, so it's not working at the moment.
Yeah, as you say, it is like lazy hands. Like when you see Vanessa Temple do them, she's there geared up, ready to catch the ball, as if she's been passed the ball, whereas what you've kind of seen here is just to reach out as if they know they're not going to get it, but let's just knock the ball back rather than making the tackle, really. So Raiders now, Pattinson going to kick the ball, York shouting around the ground, different kicker, as Pattinson goes to take this one now, as Nicole Stewart has headed off the pitch here. Just trying to see who's out. Darcy Southwood, who's come on her second game for the Raiders. She did really well at Huddersfield, actually played really great for a debut game, a big strong tackler, and probably what Raiders could do with right now. So
yeah, I was mega impressed with her at Huddersfield. I think for a young lass coming on making a debut, she was nothing short of fantastic, and it's great to see. She's an exciting young player. She's on the DICE programme, so our only representative, I think, from the club. So big things to watch out for from Darcy.
So just looking at Raiders have just given away another penalty there to York, so York kicking that one and starting 40 metres away from their own line. Disappointing again for this Raiders side. Just discipline is not on their side today, really letting themselves down with that. But York there with a loose pass, and it's going to bobble out of play, so Raiders lucky there. They forced that error, and now we'll get the ball back on the 50 metre mark. Just looking, it looks like another substitution coming on. Mia Dobson's at the side of the line, just waiting to come onto the pitch. Not too sure who she will be replacing yet, but there is some tired bodies out there on the pitch for this Raiders side at the moment. A lot of effort in this game and a lot of big tackles. Crawford now takes that first ball in for the Raiders. Jodie Morley is who will come off, and Mia Dobson comes in to replace her for the last 6 minutes of this half. Clough now takes the ball forward for the Raiders on the third. Crawford now tries to get them to that 30 metre mark, does well in the end with 3 York players grappling onto her. Cottier, she's got options, she's got fresh legs from Dobson, but passes it back to Pattinson. She gets the inside ball to Sturzaker. She's taken out there at the 20-metre mark now. Raiders only have 2 tackles left here. Dobson again runs that dummy, but he's going to go behind it to Southwood. Southwood now trying to find her way through, but she's taken down 20 metres from the line. Raiders on the 5th, so Pattinson's going to get this one away. Gets it up in the air there. It's being chased, but York are straight underneath that one, and it lands straight in her hands. But some big defence here from the Raiders, keep them down and hopefully give no penalties away again.
That's got to be the goal this set, and it no penalties. Keep them down here and see if we can get another attacking set before the hooter goes.
So York now quick play the ball there, but it is covered well by the Raiders this time. Temple just trying to push out, but they have got an offload away now. Sam Norman's there though, luckily for the Raiders. Dobson helps, and they're going to try and push out, and they've done great there again, hitting out of the line. Dobson, Norman, Southwood, they come in and push her out, and that's a brilliant effort from the Raiders. That's the second time they've done that now. Really strong from then. York just playing down the sides, but Raiders doing well to push out there.
Yeah, and you're probably seeing a little bit naiveness from York here with having a couple of young players in instead of the I guess more experienced ones. They're playing things that they don't really need to play, but I guess you can do that when you're 28-0 up. So
yeah, we do tend to sort of see those sort of things when the teams kind of get a few more results up and get a bit higher up on that scoreboard. You see them trying to play the ball a bit more and see what they do, but Dobson now running the ball in for the Raiders. She's just come on the pitch. A nice little run there from her, just trying to pump through the middle. Cottier now gets the ball to Lindsay. She's going to try and hit that line to Clough, but takes it herself in the end after a couple of dummy passes there. And Cottier now again to Clough. Clough now gets it to Hutchinson. Hutchinson a bit close to Clough's shoulder there though. And she's taken out straight away there by the York defenders. Trying to get a quick play of the ball away. They're going to hit the short side to Norman. Norman again just going to have to take that one herself though. And now Raiders are on the 5th, 25 metres away from the line. It's played there from Lindsay to Hutchinson, but it's going to be a forward pass there from Lindsay. She just looked like she had no idea what was available for her options wise, and Hutchinson was saying I'm here, but it has gone forward there from her. So now York will get the ball back. Maybe just a bit of panic in there on the last tackle.
I think that came from the 4th play, to be honest. I don't think the short side was on and they've come down here, and then the 5th tackle's then been a bit of a mess, hasn't it? But just need to get set, pick your kicker and either play to an area or put your kick in.
So Raiders now will be disappointed to see Emma Hutchinson just holding her arms up in the air. Maybe just a bit of a hit there when she was trying to run through. I think she had her arms up and got tackled around the side. So I think she looks okay. Maybe just taking a little bit of a break to make sure her shoulder's okay.
Winded, I think.
Yeah, I think she'd give the thumbs up now, so we'll get back underway. They've had some water, this Raiders side now. So York back underway here. They've got a fresh set, but 25 metres in their own half they've had to start from. They'll have to do a lot to get down this pitch in the last 3 minutes of this half, but again they're already ripping through that middle. Darcy Southwood there, great tackling from her to get Agnes Wood down, and they're going to try and hit this right hand side. Williamson throws a dummy, ends up letting go of the ball, but York ultimately pick it up and knock it on. Looked like York just hit the ground there and have knocked it on, but we'll see what the referee thinks of that one there. He said the first one went backwards, and then he said a touch off the Raiders, so he's going to give that one to York.
I couldn't actually see that one, so I can't make comment on this one.
It's hard. To me, it looked like it had come backwards. It had gone backwards off York. They'd gone to pick it up and knocked it on in the act of picking it up, but the referee says in between that, a Barrow hands got to it and hit it forward first. So obviously that's why he didn't let Vanessa Temple run on with the ball after it had been knocked on from York, because he'd seen that. So yeah, a bit of a messy one to try and see over that side of the field, but obviously he's seen a bit more where he's at. But now again, they've just caught Beth Lindsay out there, but the referee says that one's forward, and they've been lucky to just time the passes perfectly through this whole game. But yeah, step too far, that one. Lindsay was really caught out there though, just pushing up in the line. But Raiders need to push up together. They're just, it's a bit of a jagged line at the moment, and that's why York are managing to get around. But yeah, Raiders now, there's only 1 minute left now, so they'll pat this scrum down and see if there's anything they can do here in the last minute of this game. The hooter is about to go here.
Chip and chase, I'd go here.
We'll see. Beth Pattinson is going to get the ball, so you never know. She gets it to Sturzaker though, so she's just going to run that one in for the Raiders. 50 metres out now. That was the first tackle in the set. The ball goes left to Pattinson. She throws a dummy and takes it herself. Pushed back though by this York defence. Getting in the faces of this Raiders team. Maybe what's causing the Raiders to panic a bit in these passes as well. But again, their Temple tries that inside ball to Southwood. She does well to keep hold and stay in on that left-hand side of the field. Cotier. Still in play though, Sam Norman has the ball. She looks like she's trying to kick it and just manages to get it away, but it is going to be caught there by York, and Raiders need to finish this one off now. Just make the tackle. Hutchinson is being chased around now. Just tried a little bit of footwork, and Hutchinson goes to make the tackle there. There's a bit of edginess there towards the end. It looked like Hutchinson went to make a tackle, has accidentally grabbed her face, and she wasn't happy with that one. And I think maybe Hutchinson wasn't happy with the footwork around her. It kind of looked like she was just playing her a little bit, and then managed to get her down. But yeah, a bit feisty towards the end of that half, but it will finish there. So it is York 28, Barrow 0, 40 minutes gone. Give us your thoughts on the first half, Jodie.
Yeah, I just think a bit of their own downfall with some of the stuff. I think some of York's tries have only come off Barrow's ill discipline, and then not great work in defence. But hopefully in the second half they can get a little bit more ball in hand and see if they can get some points on the board.
So join us for the second half in around 10 minutes, where Raiders will be searching for their first 2 points of the season. It is 28-0 here at Craven Park. 40 minutes gone. Join us soon. Did you come watch the Leeds game? You missed the Are you alright? Yeah, good thank you. Yeah, I think it was they scored 11 tries and they got 1 kick. Leeds. Yeah, they lost out 20 points, yeah. And then on the Facebook they score flat Leeds, and I was like, I don't think they did, because they missed 20 points on the conversion. Yeah. But I don't think it's flat. Picked up momentum that they brought, so that was it. It was just done after that. You couldn't have won them last week. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well they were winning. They were winning. Yeah, they were winning in the second. At half time, they were winning the game. Right. And yeah, they just. Yeah, it's a shame. If we've not won the game all season, it plays with you psychologically a bit.
I've known Amanda a lot of years, and if you look at the quality, she's a great ass. She looks like that.
I never said anything because I didn't want to make it like
Exactly, yeah.
No, but we didn't, you know what normally we have like a block? We started in March. They're like, you know what used to be like 6 blocks, say then 8 weeks off, and 6 blocks and 8 weeks off. What they did was they did 10 weeks, then had a massive flat block off on Christmas, and then came back in town. Yeah, and then I've not heard anything about it. Yeah, I went and looked on the WhatsApp and just said, that's good, when you do your own time, it's kind of like not the artist and all those things
But if you're on the pitch, you can see, you know what it needs.
Well, I think I might have just deafened everyone that's come in and listened to that. So we're just about to join in the second half here. It is York 28, Barrow 0. Just waiting for Barrow to take this kick here. So Raiders now kicking off to this York side. Taking that ball straight in though, and York are already at that 40-metre mark. Still in their own half, but not the biggest of kicks from this Raiders side. York now 45 metres away from the line. Raiders just need to get in the face of this York team, but it's a big ask for the Raiders in this second half. 28 points to make up. As I always say though, if they can do it in one half, they can do it in the other, so we'll see what Raiders have in the tank here. But York now on this right hand side.
A 29-28 win here.
So York now have just got that ball to the Raiders. They've just kicked it through, and now Raiders are making their way out the line. Great take there by Blossom Howell for the Raiders, and now Norman just going down that right hand side trying to find her way out. Lindsay now is at that hooker position. Cloutier just stepping out for that one, and Lindsay again is back in at hooker. Maybe a little bit of a switch around here for the Raiders, and now Southwood gets the ball out to Dobson. She tries to get an offload away, but it is covered well by York. And now Raiders on the 5th. The ball's going to get to Lindsay. She's going to try and kick it down the field. But York there have taken that ball. They've managed to get it over. Now they're running down that left-hand side. Great saving tackle there by Clough, but she looks like she's injured herself there in doing so. And now York are still hitting down that left-hand side. Norman comes in to cover this one. Clough just hobbling back into the line, just trying to recover herself for this set. It's going to be a 6 again though for the Valkyrie. 20 metres out. And now it's going to be another penalty as well. We'll just take a break here while they're looking at Beth Lindsay. She just had gone down on the floor there, so we will see what happens with her there. So just waiting for Beth Lindsay now. She's just been seen to the side of the field. Just gone down with a leg at the moment.
Looks like Clough is alright though, that's good news.
Yeah, good news for her. She just hobbled back into that bit of the line, and don't really know what happened there with her, but just waiting to see if Beth can get up and play. So York now attacking that line, 10 metres out. Looked like I thought she dropped the ball there, the Raiders were going, but she's kept hold of that one, and now York trying to hit through this right hand side. They've got an overlap though on the right hand side, and Raiders just not covering that one. Kelly Friend there has come on, and they've just managed to push back onto the inside, so it's going to be a try there for York.
Looks like some of the York fans have come over to this side of the pitch as well, so shouting down there just as she's scoring. I didn't think at first why she gone back inside and not just gone and put the ball down in the corner, but it obviously worked for her.
So York now scored on that right hand side, another try for the Valkyrie, but the first in this half.
19, Brooke Henderson.
Just having some technical difficulties here. Sorry if you can hear a bit of squeaking going on. Just trying to fix it as we're trying to sort the rugby out. Sorry. You can also probably hear we've got every York fan underneath us as well, so they're going mad when they score. Just waiting for the kick now. So it's a missed conversion attempt there by York. The score will remain 32-0 here with 5 minutes gone in the second half. Raiders just making another substitution here. Lucy Dickinson coming back onto the field. Kelly Friend's also come on now. She's on this left-hand side, right on the wing here for the Raiders. She's had a few games off, as we mentioned. She's had taken a little bit of a break, and now Lindsay just going down the tunnel there. Looks like she's injured, so we'll see what happens with that as well.
Interesting to see Kelly's come on the wing as well, so I think she's a bit... Does she know she's a back? Does she know she's a forward? I'd prefer to see her at forwards personally.
So Raiders now just trying to defend this one. It was a good kick to the side of the lines, but now we're just looking at this. York going on that right hand side. They've managed to find a way through the edge of the Raiders, and loose pass there, bounces back.
Said it's come off Blossom's hand again, so it's back to 0.
Raiders just giving away them 6 agains at the moment.
I'll let her have one, that one though. I think that was more in the act of making the tackle than actually purposely knocking the ball down.
York now have the overlap on this left hand side though. Howell's there, and luckily for her, York just knocking on that ball, so Raiders will get the ball back. Good effort there from the Raiders. Howell, she had a bit of a 2-on-1 situation, so just tried to get in the face of York and has managed to come off with the ball there, so great from her to win that one back for the Raiders. But again, it's another big ask for them to get down this field. It is 32-0 with 33 minutes gone. Hopefully the technical difficulties have been fixed now, so hopefully everyone's ears are okay at home. Apologies for that. Live radio, that's what you get.
You are a bit delayed in my right ear compared to my left, but
if it makes anyone feel better, I can hear myself talking still, so I'm struggling to commentate, but I'll keep going for everyone out there. So Raiders now run this ball in. Stewart, she's returned to the field with Lindsay going off as well. Like I say, she hobbled down the field, down the tunnel, before, so we'll see how she is and if there's any news on that one, but it looks like she probably won't be coming back for the second half of this game now. Raiders now trying to hit through the middle with Crawford. She's still going, but taken down there by 2 York defenders in the middle. Southwood's going to try and run this one in. She's having a great second game as well. Big defender and never running away from taking a ball in either.
yeah, and just seems to have brought a new speed to the game. So she finds a front every time she gets tackled, and then in defence she's just working really hard to get numbers around the ball.
So Raiders now get the ball to Stewart. She's going to get this one kicked in the air, trying to get that high kick. Raiders are chasing, but the ball ultimately bounces back to pretty much near where Stewart kicked it. Still on the 5th. Dobson does well to get that one away, and Temple's got it away to Friend on this left wing. But all Friend can do is take the ball and fall to the floor. So it's going to be a turnover there to York. But there is an injury here on the field for Barrow. It looks like a pretty serious injury, actually. She's just in the middle of the field, not looking well. Beth Pattinson there. Hopefully she's okay. The physios are on the field now. We are just taking a break, but
I think it might be Jodie Crawford, actually. But I don't know where that means Beth Pat is. She not come back out for the second half?
no, big swap over them for the Raiders, isn't it? So we've got Nicole Stewart's come back out. Dickinson's just come onto the field. Lindsay had swapped into that hooker role, but Cotty remained on the field, and now, yeah, as you say, Patson sat down over there. Crawford just in the middle of the field. It is that's gone down injured. Jodie Morley again, she's not on the pitch either at the moment. So yeah, Raiders maybe just a bit of a switch around there.
We didn't notice that, did we?
Didn't notice Beth Pattinson hadn't come back on. I mean, I've just seen Beth Lindsay now, she's hobbling over there, but yeah, I didn't notice she hadn't come back on. A bit of a change there for Raiders. Don't know what's happened there. We'll try and speak to Amanda after the game. Maybe a bit of game management, or maybe something's happened at half time. And it actually looks like she's fully dressed back into training kit, Beth Pattinson over there. So I wonder if it's an injury related substitution for her. But now Jodie Crawford just getting back up to her feet. I think she was just holding her shoulder there, so
we'll have to try and work out who's gone into the halves.
I'm not sure if it was Cottier when Beth Lindsay had moved into that hooker position, but now it looks like it's changed again with Lindsay having to go back off. So Raiders now will have to defend this York kick. Early they noticed that there's no one there. They're going to try and get the kick down the field. Thought there was a bit too much, and the kick spun all the way around the field. Norman just chasing that one, and I think she could have left that an extra second and it would have gone out, but she panicked there, kicked it out, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. I think she could have even maybe got hands to that one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that one.
So yeah, maybe just the pressure got to her there and she thought, let's just kick this one out. But yeah, I think she had time to maybe get hands to that, or I think even an extra a second left it would have bounced out eventually. But yeah, just panicked there, kicked that one out. So now York will get a fresh set. Hopefully Raiders don't do another short kick again without chasing it. But it looks like Stewart's going to get this one a bit further down the field. Does well as it bounces over the first play, Agnes Wood, but it is taken by York. So Raiders now will have to defend these tackles 20 metres away from the line. York again, though, they've ducked through the first defender, got the offload away there. Looks like they're going to try and go over that left hand side, but it's covered well by Dickinson and Howell, who's coming to make that tackle. Now pushing to the right hand side. York Friends out there on the edge on her own though. She's going to try and make this tackle, but she isn't quite quick enough to make it there. We've got probably the most enthusiastic York fan I've ever heard in my life underneath us as Brooke Henderson goes over there for a try. Sorry for anyone that has to pick that up, it's very loud. Now that is some passion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they brought 5 fans and he's making the noise of about 500.
That's all they need with him here. It's so loud, it's brilliant to hear. Good to hear though, isn't it? Like we say, we've played rugby for a long time before we've all had to stop, and we started at Barrow Island and had a couple of fans there. So to see people here actually watching the game and getting involved in the Women's Super League, it's nice to see them getting involved and coming all the way from York. It is a big ask on a Sunday afternoon. Like you said, there was a big event on TV last night, so for people to come over, it's good to see that that's happening.
Yeah, definitely. I think the crowd's depleted today due to people being out last night watching the football and probably a bit sore heads this morning. We'd generally get a few more in than what's in today, I think.
Yeah, it is a lot quieter than usual, I would say, and obviously the men played last night as well, so it's a bit tough to ask for on Sunday. It's a shame they couldn't have a double header yesterday, but now York just taking this kick from the right edge. It's going to be missed again though, so it is York 36, Barrow 0, 28 minutes to go here.
So here at the Constitution Stadium in Barrow, it's Barrow Ladies now.
Jodie Crawford's going off now as well, so she's obviously really hurt herself.
Yeah, Jodie Morley just coming onto the field there for Jodie Crawford now. Yeah, she's got her arm in a shirt. She managed to get up and play on, so we didn't think it was too bad. But yeah, obviously she's adrenaline's calmed down a bit and she started to feel that one. In Women's Super League news though, Leeds did beat Huddersfield 56-10, so York don't even need to win this game, so you never know, they might calm it down now and let Raiders get a few points on the board. But
It's a shame they didn't play yesterday, and York would have known that before they came here today. They might have brought a few other young'uns.
yeah, let Raiders have a bit of a let off, but no, it is a tough game today. Raiders doing it tough against this York team, even a bit of a disjointed team. Like we say, they're struggling to name the same teams, but it's a good kick-off from Raiders. Spotted a bit of a gap there. They could have just got to that ball, but we've not ended to get there. And Jodie Morley, big effort from her there. Looked like Tara Moxon for York. She's just taken her backwards and carried her, Jodie Morley. So big effort from her there from the kick-off. Brilliant to see.
That's how to raise the standards when you come off the bench, innit?
Yeah, co-captain as well of this Raiders side, so obviously a big voice, big shot there. Nicole Stewart just runs into Isabel Brennan there for York, but both of them make a brilliant noise as they go into the tackle, and that's going to be an incorrect play of the ball though. Brennan there just didn't kick a foot back with that ball, so Raiders will win this one back 45 metres away from the line. A chance for them to maybe get over the board and over the line and get on the scoreboard here, Jodie.
Hopefully, so it's the best chance they've had attacking for a while. But I think that's reward, isn't it? For someone's put a big shot in and then York make a mistake.
So Raiders now just trying to push forward here, but Wood involved in that tackle with Moxon. Morley now trying to power through, just come off the bench, so good to see her actually getting some time on the bench. She's played a lot of minutes in the last few weeks, so nice to see her getting a bit of a break and coming back with that power. But it's taken well there by Raiders. They get a little bit of a run on that right hand side. Thought they were maybe away there, but Clough just couldn't carry on with that one, and now Norman gets the ball to Hutchinson. Hutchinson looks like she's going to be dragged out, so gets the ball back to Norman. Raiders have got space on this left hand side to play. They're going to get the ball to Clough though. She runs that one forward, gets the ball away southward. Great catch from her. She goes herself, takes Raiders within 5 metres of that line, and Raiders now on the 5th. They're going to try and hit with Nicole Stewart out the back. She gets a kick over, but all it does is carry over to that right hand side, but Howell's taking it. There's a bit of a room on that edge, but just can't get around them York players, and it's going to be a turnover there. Again though, as we keep saying, but it's not the worst position to turn it over in, but Barrow now will be asking. They need to get these points on the board rather than just them little turnovers at the end of the pitch.
Yeah, good set that. Good turnover. This keep them down here with no penalties, no errors will be ideal.
So York now trying to get out of their territory. Raiders just getting in the face, so Jodie Morley doing really well in defence at the moment, pushing this Raiders side up. Big tackle again from her there. Looks like she's injured Brennan there in the doing so of that tackle. Oh, she's not looking good there. She stood up and looks like she doesn't know where she is. Big tackle from Morley.
She's probably hit her head off the concrete ground.
Yeah, it does look very dry out there at the moment. Just trying to see who it was. I thought it was Isabel Brennan, but I don't think it is. Maybe one of the recent substitutions for York. They've been using that subs bench quite wisely in this weather today. Barrow maybe a few injuries putting them out. I mean, Jodie Crawford's gone off, Beth Lindsay's gone off. They've got
Beth Pat's gone off.
Beth Pattinson's gone off, so really all they've got left is nobody on the. Is there anybody on the bench now? They've got Jodie Crawford's gone off, Southwood's on, Friend's on, Dobson's on. That's it then. Nobody left to rotate on the bench, so.
Unless Kappa's alright. and they just swapped her for Kelly to get some game time under the belt.
Yeah, she has got her legs heavily strapped, hasn't she, Chloe Capstick? So we'll see. But yeah, Sturzaker's got Friend on her wing on this left-hand side now. But Friend, she just doesn't give that sort of winger position. You know, to me, she isn't a winger, and I don't know why there's had to be a change there. Looks like it was Amelie Lenham that's actually hurt herself there and is going off, maybe just for a HIA assessment. Yeah, just putting the sign up there, so she'll just be going off for a HIA assessment there and see what goes on there.
And I think since we've been talking Barrow injuries, but 29 for York has entered the field, and that's an interesting, wasn't it? So York have gone picking off the bottom four and taken her from Lee. So
yeah, Kate Howard from Lee. Yeah, you do start to see it in this sort of time of the season, picking off the different teams. And big shot again there, this time from Vanessa Temple on Tara Moxon, just puts her to the ground, but Moxon gets up after that one. A pass there to Jazz Bell, but miles forward that one. Williamson taken down by Temple. She gets the ball away, but another big shot from Temple, and now Williamson's on the floor for York. A lot of passion going into this from the Raiders at the moment.
yeah, that's great work there by Ness, tracking her right across, and she did 3 dummy drop-offs and then hit the third man, woman, sorry. And Ness has got to her. Obviously it's not nice to see anyone down injured, but great work off the ball.
Yeah, so just waiting. Williamson is back up now, so that's good to see. She got that pass away to Jazz Bell, but yeah, miles forward. You could see it from up here. It was forward, and the referee and the liner have picked that up, so it is going to be ball back to Barrow, 40 metres out. We've just put that tackle on report as well. The referee, Vanessa Temple's tackle on Williamson, so we'll
I didn't
see
see anything wrong with it from up here.
It's a bit weird the way the Women's Super League sort of stuff works with that, though, because last week there was obviously a biting incident at Huddersfield, and I mean there was a clear bite on someone's hand, but we never hear anything of that, we never see anything of that, so it's always
I think it takes about a week to go to review, but I think biting's one of those things, it's so hard to prove, isn't it? But I've not come across a player like their player last week in a long time. I don't know how to explain it.
A few incidents, wasn't there, that happened at Huddersfield with just an individual player, and yeah, I think a few things may have gone on there, like you say, just waiting to still hear from that and see if anything comes of that. It's a bit crazy the way Women's Super League work. Men's we get it quite quick, but women's there is a bit of wait from it.
Yeah, and if she played in my team, I would definitely be having words with her.
So Raiders now trying to hit forward to the line, 25 metres out on the second tackle here. Play the ball though, comes out rough there. Referee says play on. Luckily, looked like it was going to be incorrect play the ball against Sam Norman. Now the ball is back out the wing to the middle of the pitch. Clough trying to run her way forward, but it's a good tackle by Moxon from the Valkyrie to keep her from getting any further. But she's been held down a long time there, just trying to get up. 10 metres out now this Raiders side. Stewart takes it herself. She had Dobson on her left shoulder, but opted to just run that ball in herself, and now Raiders are under the sticks. Right in the middle, there's a big gap southwards there.
Go on, Darcy.
Just can't get under the sticks, so she had a great gap open up, but if anything, the sticks were in the way for her, and now Raiders are on the 5th. There's a big gap there for Dickinson though, and she's going to get over the line, and it's going to be a try for the Raiders. Lucy Dickinson.
And I think she's actually gone in at 6. So there's a nice show and go from your back rower, playing at 6, getting in under the sticks nearly. So well done, Lucy.
Yeah, brilliant try there from Lucy Dickinson. Awesome effort from her. Just runs right. There's a big gap there in the middle, and York just clash in between, trying to take her down. But Dickinson does really well and goes through the middle there. So brilliant effort.
I think it was more of a show and a go. There's no one there. I'm going myself.
Yeah, brilliant effort from that. I think, I don't know if she even had any options, to be honest. I think she just found the ball in her hands and panicked a little bit, and then thought, I'll just have to go. And, that's probably the back rower in her there that's saying, let's just go and go right through the middle of them. But, I don't think York expected it. And, they just kind of clashed into each other trying to tackle her, and she's done well to get over there.
We'll stand here and say she absolutely meant that, won't we?
I just watched the replay, so...
She definitely never.
She's done well to get
I'm just
over
going.
there. brilliant effort from Dickinson to get over and get them points over on the board for Raiders. Stewart taking the kick now. She takes it quite far out, actually. It's about 20 metres out nearly, but it's just right of the stick, so see if she can get this one. Yeah, brilliant effort from her. Good conversion from Nicole Stewart. So Raiders.
We've had lots of conversations, me and Noel Clough. She takes the ball back from the sticks. It works for her, so we'll just leave her to it. And I think that might be Lucy's first try for Barrow and in Super League. So again, another big raps to Lucy.
Yeah, I think it is a first try in Super League. I was going to say, yeah, I wasn't too sure on that. I know it's a first try this season, definitely, but yeah, I think it is a first try. I don't know. I'm questioning myself. I don't know if she scored in last season. Kind of thinking that she did, but
I don't think she has.
Oh yeah, she has scored. Oh, it was her first try. It was her first try. Just getting confirmation there, some statistics, but yeah, first try there, that for Lucy Dixon. I'm not sure if she scored in a friendly or something. Maybe I picked up on, but yeah, first try there in the Women's Super League. So yeah, well done to Lucy.
You might score some seen her score some tries at Overston.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably thinking. And I've had a few knocks to the head myself, so I don't remember a lot of things nowadays. I have to write everything down. But yeah, great to see her first try. There's not been a lot of try scorers for the Raiders this season, to be honest. Vanessa Temple and Emma Hutchinson up there leading the way. So yeah, you've got Leah Clough, Zara Clough, and now Lucy Dickinson to add to that pack. So still waiting for the teams now to just get back on with this second part of the second half of the game. 18 minutes left here. Is this the Raiders come back on, Jodie? Can they still come back and do this game?
No.
Blunt and straight.
But we could try.
I like it. So Raiders 6, York 36 with 18 minutes gone. Great to see the Raiders get on the scoreboard though here today. As I say, they always do play a lot better at home, it seems. We've got some York cheerleading going on down below us as well, so good to see that as well. York now will just kick this back to the Raiders, bobbling that one along the floor, but Cottier does well to just pick that one up and go. She always does quite well with the balls running on the ground like that. Quite a solid player for handling really for this Raiders side. And now Clough tries to take that one forward, but is pushed back by these York players. She's trying to get up and play the ball quickly, but held down by York. And now Dickinson
going for another show and go right through the middle. Love it.
60-metre run there to the try line it would have been for her. And now Morley takes the Raiders forward to that 50-metre mark, just jumps over it, trying to get up and play the ball quickly, but York just holding this Raiders side down. And Cottier now takes a quick run from acting half down the short side, gets the ball to Norman, but Norman just gets that one away. Oh, it's passed out to Southwood, but she can't quite take that one. It was a bit of bobbling to her and she couldn't get clean hands on that one. So now Raiders are going to have to turn that attack straight back into defence. So Jazz Bell now for York, throws a dummy, but read well there by Dobson and Stewart. And now Williamson is going to pass to this right hand side. There's a bit of an overlap there though. Sturzaker trying to cover that, but there's an offload away there to Moxon. Stewart there trying to cover it again, but they're just offloading now this York side. They've got it onto that left hand side and they're going to go over in the left. They just managed to go right over from right to left here, and it's going to be Petra Woods who goes over for that York side on the left hand side. Just turned it right back around on the Raiders. They had to go straight from attack into defence mode, and they ran from one side of the field all the way over to the left there.
Yeah, and it's not even great play, is it? It's just basics, support runners, get the offload, because the ball's not been wrapped up.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-on-one going on there from the Raiders, just trying to get up and make them one-on-one tackles, but the ball just never covered at any point, and I think there's about 3 offloads leading up into that try, so yeah, disappointing there. Can see Chloe Capstick though under the tunnel. Just looks like she's ready to come back on. Maybe she's just took a sub bib off, so we'll see if she's going to come back after this Kelly Friend on this side is just struggling in that winger position. I think it's hard to ask from her for that because she's not a winger position normally anyway, so to come back after a few weeks off and jump straight into a winger position, I think it's a big ask for her. And not, I hate sounding like this, but she doesn't have that speed that the wingers that need.
No, and I think it came from probably back end of last season, more into last season actually, that she got herself so fit and she was flying, and she's actually a lot quicker than you think, and we were out without Sam and Emma, don't forget, all over the end of last season, so putting her into the backs worked, and it was necessary at the end of last season. But yeah, I think this season I would like to see a move back into the forwards now that you've got Blossom, Sam, Emma, Kappa playing. But I think it's just confidence for Kel, so she's been not here for a bit. Today was maybe the right option to put her there for that confidence and just get her back into the swing of it. And maybe as the season goes on, if she sticks around, we'll start to see her move back more into the middle.
Yeah, I definitely see, with the speed. We saw her last year, she can get up to a good pace. And I remember I went to some of the training sessions and she was one of the top runners, at pace. But I think after having a few weeks off, she's not got that pace in this first game back. She's kind of just, like you say, a bit of confidence. It's a tough game to come straight back into, and then to be put onto the winger position she's not usually in. It's a big ask on her, and I think she's struggling at the moment, but I think Sturzaker's doing well to help her cover that, and I think Amanda's maybe seeing that as well because she's moved Capstick back over to this wing. She's moved Friend over to the right hand side and Dobson's come off, so I think that's it now for Raiders substitutions. They've got Mia Dobson as a rolling sub, and that's about it. But only 14 minutes left of this game now, and the conversion there was unsuccessful for York, so it is York 40, Barrow 6. Williamson there just bobbles the ball from the play. Referee says that one's gone backwards, and I think it was, but now Temple, just looking at the referee, she managed to make that tackle after the ball was dropped by Williamson, and now Moxon runs that in, and Temple again there to make that tackle. Good effort from her. It's come to this left hand side now, and Kappa is there. She steps right into touch. Didn't know if the linesman was going to stick his flag up, but don't worry, Jodie Liverland had her hand in the air so the referee could see that she was in touch.
But you definitely can't see me from up here, so I don't even know why I did that.
Instinct.
So yeah, just instinct.
Little liner there, put the flag up, so just stepped out into touch there as she was running down the line. So Raiders have a little bit of a let off there. They look like they had that pretty much covered anyways, and I think Kappa was there ready to put her into touch, but it's a bit of a move about. We've got Chloe Capstick on this left hand side, Temple going in as her centre, and then Sturzaker's pushed out one, swapped with Temple.
And look, I think some of these players have got 12 minutes now to make something of themselves and say that they deserve to be first team on the team sheet for the second half of the season, because the second half of the season playing against Featherstone, Lee, Huddersfield is what's going to be important for them and what's important for the club. I think it's just a bit of the second half of the season is a lot more competitive. They've got the bottom half of the table, but just looking here, there's just been a stoppage in play, and Ellie Williamson's going off for York Valkyrie. Has been a substitution. It's actually a HIA, and that was pulled by the mouth guard going off that the players wear. So a bit interesting, and we're going to be touching on that as well, about the new mouth guards, doing a bit of investigating in that. So if you follow my social medias, you might see some of that as well. But so she's just been pinged there by the mouth guard. So Ellie Williamson going off, which is good for Raiders in terms of gameplay, because she was commanding a lot of the play for York on the field. So Raiders now are 15 metres away from the line. They've got room to move here, and they could potentially go back over for another try. And now Stewart is going to get the ball to Sturzaker. She gets it to Capstick. Capstick taken out there though, 10 metres away from the line. Cottier again is going to go to the short side to Sturzaker. Sturzaker thinks she can maybe run over there. It's going to be 6 again though. Marker's not square there for York, and now Temple runs this one forward for the Raiders. Still 5 metres away from this line though. Raiders could spread this one out. They keep hitting that short side, but they've got lots of options on this right hand side. Morley now gets the ball out to Stewart. Stewart gets the ball out now to Clough. Clough tries to run forward with that one, but again is taken down just short of the line. And now
Raiders think
She's gonna get a
Dickinson's there.
second.
She's going to get back over the line. The referee's ducked his head down, but it's going to be held up there. Dickinson charging over there. It looked like she was going to go for a second of the game, but just couldn't quite get the ball down on the floor there. So it's going to be held up there. Unlucky. That would have been amazing to get two in the game in a game against York, but now Morley takes this one in. She gets the offload away to Temple, though. There's a bit of a gap on that left-hand side, but fortunately Temple had no one there with her to try and make that run, and now Raiders on the 5th. Norman's going to get the ball to the wing. It comes off Kappa's leg, though. Norman's managed to pick it back up, but just tried to put the brakes on. She stepped into touch with the ball, and it'll be out there, so it'll be a turnover.
She said it better be nice today, but that was a shit pass. Rubbish pass, sorry.
Apologies for that, sorry. Jodie's new to the commentating. She used to being on the field, so apologies for that one. But yeah, Sam Norman there just steps out into touch. Sorry everybody, I will polish Jodie up after the game. So now York are back into the attack here. Moxon, she's come on for this York side. She's doing really well. She's just got it over to that left-hand side, and now York have got a bit of a run. Sam Norman's having to come from the other side. She's trying to make the chase. Capsick's trying to come from the other side, but there's no way anybody is catching her, and it's going to be Akwiwu who's going to go over on that left-hand side for this York side. Her second of the game. York just seem to be dominating now in these last few minutes. Raiders just struggling to get over that line. Looked like Dickinson was close, but York have just got that extra edge that they need, and it is 44-6 to them. 10 minutes to go. I think I looked at that clock about 20 minutes ago and there was only 12 minutes left, so these last 10 minutes have gone so slow. But yeah, clock's just changed over, so 9 minutes to go here now. And as you said before, Jodie, at this point in the game, it is just trying to show that you earn that shirt and you deserve to wear it next week.
Yeah, and luckily it's not next week because they've got a bit of a break now before the second half of the season starts. They can also almost get themselves in a little pre-season and hopefully come into that second half of the season, people fighting for shirts, showing up at training and being ready to go.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird season up to now for the Raiders, because for me there was a lot missing last year. Obviously Sam Norman was out, Emma wasn't playing, and you know, I think they've come back this part of the season and I thought, they've kind of got a few new recruits. They lost a couple of players. A few players have gone off to start a family. A few players have gone off to other clubs. But I actually think the Raiders have struggled a lot more this season than last season, whereas I thought it would be vice versa. But yeah, we don't really know what happens in the back scenes, and if it's something to do with training, if it's something to do with availability. Obviously Amanda's named quite a smaller squad this season, so it's having to pick up. She's given a few of the under-19s a chance as well, but just been some very close games. I mean, Lee 2 points away from that one, and Huddersfield last week just coming back a bit too late for the Raiders. It's, you know, there's something just not clicking, it seems, which is disappointing. But hopefully the second half of the season they could just get up that table and take over Featherstone and maybe Lee and Huddersfield as well.
Yeah, and you wonder if there is a little bit of subconscious in it, knowing that you've got to get through this first half of the season and then you don't play the big teams again, and you've got that second half of the season that's going to ultimately make a difference. However, it would have been nice to pick up some points against your one game against Huddersfield, Featherstone and Lee, and the only game I didn't watch was the Featherstone one, but the other two games they could have absolutely won.
Yeah, so disappointing there. Now they try a short bit of kick off there. The Raiders went about 15 metres, but York have picked that one up. And now we'll start again in the relentless attack that they've had today here at Craven Park. York just appealing there for a high tackle, but the referee says it's come off Stewart's chest. Ripped, looked like a bit of a ball steal there with 2-on-1, but not too sure if it was a ball steal or the ball has just popped up. A few fans not happy with that one. To me, it was a 2-on-1 ball steal against Raiders, but Raiders do have the ball back now. Southwood just tries to duck around the first York defender, but is taken down there 45 metres from the line. Dickinson now gets the ball to Morley to Temple. Temple finds a way around the first York defender, but is taken down there 35 metres out in the middle of the pitch. Raiders have the options, but they're going to go right to Clough. Clough tries to power her way through, but again, some good meters made from her, but Raiders are still 30 metres out. A couple of tackles left in this set, and now Hutchinson's going to try and take them forward on that right-hand side. On the 5th now, this Raiders 20 metres out. The ball gets to Dickinson. She's going to take a kick, gets it in the air. There's a bit of a spin on that. Moxon there underneath it, though. Looked like she was going to maybe have a problem with that, but takes it clean in the end. And she will
Brilliant, Mars.
Yeah, great effort from Jodie Morley there on Moxon. I just said how great it was from Moxon. She did a great catch, and then Morley takes her down, hits the ground, and she knocks the ball on. So Raiders now will get the ball back 20 metres away from the line with a scrum. So great result for them, and hopefully they can get over the line and get some more points on the board as well. Just waiting for this scrum to be set up here now. There's another substitution for York there. They've just had a medical come back on, so I think that was a HIA pass. It wasn't Williamson, but the one before it was. So that'll be positive news for them. And now Hutchinson takes this ball forward for the Raiders. Metres away from this line here, just trying to go over, but York defending this well. They don't want any more crashing over from this Raiders side. But Cottier there does a little bit of a spin from acting half, but just can't find her way over here. And Raiders now again just trying to crash over. It's the same things, but thought she'd stretched over for a try there. She's got the ball in her hands, Nicole Stewart, and now Raiders are just pushing at that line, but it's going to be a try there, Leah Clough. It finally works for the Raiders, and that was the 3rd crash over they tried in that set, and now she's managed to go over. So Raiders get the result they want from that set, and it's going to be a try for them. Leah Clough just going over there, just right on the sticks. So a good kick for Raiders as well. Just looking at the pass now, brilliant pass to Clough. She just managed, York just jumped off the line there. They were trying to get ahead of the play, and Clough just managed to power through and then go over. So great effort from her. Only 4 minutes left here, as you say, Jodie. It's fighting for your shirt now, and that's the sort of things you want to be seeing. Obviously Raiders knew what they wanted to do then. They wanted to hit the line, they wanted to try and crash over, and it just took a few attempts. But yeah, I think Leah Clough's actually gone down injured after that as well.
Yeah, so hopefully Clough will be alright, but I don't think many people deserve that more than Clough to get over the line. I thought she was unlucky last week to either score or create a couple of tries, and she's been absolutely outstanding for Barrow all season. But I think what you were saying about doing what works for you as a team, and spoke about what Huddersfield did last week, and it might look not the most entertaining rugby, but it's what works for Barrow. They score most of their tries through the middle, and maybe York there didn't expect them to do it a 3rd and a 4th time, and they have, and they've stuck at a process that works for them, and they get points on the board. And then I guess for a kicker it's always nice when the points are being scored close to the sticks, and going wide and getting in the corners really hasn't worked as a strength for Barrow lately, has it? So stick at what works and what's good for you.
Yeah, like you say, for a kicker it's always better as well to get in front of the sticks. I remember a few times hearing you say, great try, but could you have not got it a bit closer under the sticks? Yeah, you do hear that often from the kickers. So Nicole Stewart, a bit of a better kick for her here. Like I say, quite far back though. She's about just nearly 20 metres back taking this kick, so she's got to get the distance on it, but she has got a powerful kick. It's right in front of the sticks really, this one, so you would think she would get this one through, right through the middle, and that's what she does. So it will be Raiders 12, York 44 with 2 minutes to go. If you listen to the competition last few games as well, I probably spoke about it, but Leah has a bit of a competition with her sister. Her sister said hopefully she gets to play Super League and score more tries than Leah, so it's currently Leah 2, Zara 1 at the moment now.
I think there'll be lots of tries to come from Zara Clough in the future.
So Raiders now are just waiting to take this ball from kick-off from York after that try from Leah Clough, her 2nd try of the season. Just waiting for the ball to be kicked onto the field and picked up here by York. There's only 2 minutes of this game left here, so just playing for a bit of pride here now, this Raiders side. 44-12 the score is. At this speed competition stadium in Barrow. Big kick up there to Cottier, but as I say, really safe hands she is, and gets the ball straight to Clough, who runs straight into Jasmine Bell. As I say, an absolute massive tackler for York. She probably did one of the best tackles I've ever seen in rugby a few years ago. Now Morley gets the ball away, gets it to Temple, looks a bit forward, but the referee says that's fine. Morley's still down though. In back play, looks like she's just hurt her shoulder. She's just getting up so Raiders can carry on. And now Sturzaker's trying to take this one forward, but York pushing her back. Oof, pushed her right to the floor there, York. It was a big push down, and Sturzaker not happy with that one, and rightly so. Wins that penalty, the referee just saying there. Bit too much involved. She was just pushing her down, and she was trying to get back up. So Nicole Stewart just kicks the ball over. And Raiders will get to play this one. They'll get to play this one now, so Cotty is going to get the ball. She's got Stewart on the right. She's just going to run this one in though, I think. I think it would have been nice to see a little bit of a play there. I think Jodie would have liked it, but she just ran it.
Exciting that Cots.
Yeah, I think Nicole Stewart's waiting for it actually. You could see Cottier there just looking at her. Nicole Stewart's there like, I was just going to kick it, but yeah, that ends the game there, and better to be safe than sorry, I guess. So it is the final score, 44 York, Barrow 12. Jodie, give us a bit of a sum up of that game, and please keep it clean.
So second half, I think that's Barrow all over, innit? There seems to be the more adversity that they face, the better that they show up. So come out second half, no half backs. Cots playing 80 minutes at 9, and they go and score 2 tries. So I think that just what we said really. They've got to take now everything that's gone on in the first half of this season, good, bad, indifferent, come in fighting next couple of weeks, and the business starts in the next second half of the season, and every game is must win.
Yeah, so second half of the season then to come up. We will be back with you when the second half kicks off, hopefully giving you all that live from BBC Radio Cumbria. But that's the end of today's game. It has ended 44-12 to Raiders. Just before we go, I just thought we need a woman of the match, Jodie, so give us your quick woman of the match.
I'll have to go Cluffy, sorry.
Yeah, Leah Clough, there you go. Again, I'm sick of giving it to her now, but there will be that. So that's the end of the game here, 44-12. Join us next time for the second half of the Women's Super League season.